Hey guys, this is Nathan, and welcome back to Vintage Story on the Aura Fury server. Hope you guys are doing good today. I am doing great. So I have been working very heavily on getting this upper portion of our storage pyramid built in between episodes. And yeah, you can see the chisel in my hotbar. Uh, that was the last of the chisels that I had. I mean, we're down to 200 durability there. That is not going to go terribly far. So I decided I better make a bunch more chisels. But yes, this very definitely shows what I was saying in the past. Why I don't use the extended crafting table very much. Because unless you are going to exceed 20 durability per block, chiseling by hand, the only thing that you're losing is time. So yes, this is a ridiculously labor-intensive process building this thing. So either we could sit there and hope that we get all the chiseling right, or we just suck it up and take the extra durability hit on the chisel. Neither one of them sounds overly appealing to me. But we have made some major progress. So we do have a good portion of the walls finished now. So I have now been going through and copying all of these blocks and putting them in. Now, this is actually the top of the lower portion of this building. So we have our two doorways here, and also I think this looks really cool. So we have the little orange spots above the door, and it kind of looks like eyes with this piece of whatever, kimberlite in the center, kind of looking like a nose. And then, yeah, kind of a weird mouth, I guess, with the two doors. But, you know, faces were often put into buildings in Mayan architecture, so I think that's pretty cool. But so I've just been copying the blocks and putting them around the exterior of this thing. And it's working out pretty good. The only issue is we have also, you know, not only have we used up tons of chisels, but we are also running out of blocks. So we've run out of the basalt bricks. And, well, I guess actually I have some basalt bricks. I had to make more because I needed to put bricks underneath the doorways. So you can see there is a block of bricks under each of these post portions that border the doorways. And then it is sandstone cobble under the corner. But yes, I needed more to go underneath there. So I made more, and yeah, we are running low on the basalt rocks. We are running low on andesite stone bricks. This is taking so much material. So yeah, the other thing is I did make up a whole bunch of bowls and made some oil lamps. So we will be putting oil lamps. Well, we already have them, but on all of the pyramids, we will be putting oil lamps on the corners and then at the top of the staircase. And probably if, you know, like in the case of this pyramid over here, you know, we have a wider gap to the side. So we may end up putting another one in between. But then also I'm going to chisel up some little stand posts for more oil lamps going down the staircases. So yeah, there's going to be some stuff that I've got to do there. So I want to keep working on this, but at the same time, this is really dry work at this point. So I suppose I am going to try to get the remainder of these blocks finished here on the bottom layer of this, and I still haven't decided what we're going to do for the upper portion. So I guess I'll get this taken care of, and I'll see you guys in a little bit. Hopefully I'll have an idea of what we can do up above. Gotta love it. Once again, I am out of mortar. So I am going to have to make a couple more barrels of slaked lime. Actually, this is slaked lime, isn't it? No, this is quick lime. Yeah, I'm going to have to make a couple more barrels of slaked lime and... or is it lime water? I can't remember. But we gotta make more mortar. So yeah, that's kind of a thing, I guess. Still got a couple of, well, this is the last bowl here. Got a couple of bushmeat cooking here because I found some raccoons trying to get into my beehives. But another thing, I did not realize that you could do this. So this is protein, fruit, and vegetables. So we have red meat stew with blueberries and cabbage. And we are actually going to be trying something. So I thought cabbage was the best vegetable that you could get. Turns out it is actually pumpkin. And the thing is pumpkin has a wonderful ability. Well, there's two of them. First off, I thought that we could only use pumpkin slices. I've never really tried, but we can actually use the whole pumpkin. Now, another thing, and I'm pretty sure this is going to be patched here in the next update, when we place mature pumpkins on the ground like this, they do not spoil. So we can have a massive pile of pumpkins, and I'd kind of like to see if they stack on each other. Yes, they do. That doesn't quite look right, but you can stack pumpkins up. But yeah, we can have pumpkins just kind of sit here for as long as we want. And yeah, we can see there's another one growing here. Yeah, there's some stuff going on here. But the other thing is we can see in our information for this farmland, we have slow release nutrients. So this is where our ground up bone meal is going to come in very handy, is for the pumpkins, because pumpkins require the P nutrient, and bone meal gives the P nutrient. So we want to keep that filled up to 150% when we plant. Then we can just kind of let it go down over time. But we can see even after this pumpkin has produced 3 full-grown ones and a 4th, the nutrient level for the P is still at 63.6%. So yes, that is working really good. So yeah, I suppose that just some little tidbits of information. I thought those were kind of cool. But yes, I am definitely going to have to make some more mortar because yes, they're doing bricks. Lots and lots of bricks. So I will see you guys after a little bit. So I knew I needed to figure out something for the roof of the structure on top of our storage pyramid. So I managed to find an image that shows some Mayan architecture with kind of a shingle roof. So I figured, put some shingles on, but blue shingles would not look so good because we've already got a lot of blue in the pyramid. So I figured I'd go out and get some fire clay. Then I realized I needed some more peat. So I went out, I got some peat. I also have a chest full of peat on my back. But I ended up out in this area. So I came over into the translocator that takes us out to negative 4,000 by 9,000. I went over to, where did I go? Right here to get the fire clay. So this filled up my inventory. I went back to the base, realized I needed the peat, so I decided I would come back. Well, there didn't seem to be any peat up in this area. I didn't see this. So I figured I would go in the other direction. I will know now to go up this way for the next one. But so I decided I'd go in the other direction because I did see some peat down on this side of the big mountain here. This is a monstrous mountain. So I went down this way. I actually found a little bit of peat here just on the edge of the pine forest. So I dug out, well, pretty much everything that I could carry, and then thought, well, I found a couple of meteors out here on this plain. I'd go and just do a little bit more exploring. I went up here, so there's actually a clothing trader up here, which is going to come in a little bit handy in the next update because clothing actually is going to make a difference in the next update. But then I kind of went down around the edge of the plain, looking at a couple of things. There's some ruins over here that I haven't done anything with. Didn't really find anything of interest. So then I started coming down this way and happened to see this area. Now this is not quite as flat as this big plain up here, but it would still be fairly easy to find things like this here looks like a meteor. You know, it might be a cave, but it looks like a meteor. So I will be checking on that. I was just kind of wandering around looking for anything of interest, and I found something that is very much of interest. And I know these are fairly rare, but we found a Quartz Ruin. So this is really nice. Now I don't know how much quartz is going to be in here or how much other stuff is going to be around here. But yes, we have ourselves a Quartz Ruin. So I am going to just dig everything out here. Dig underneath it as well a little bit because, well, quite frankly, I don't want to leave anything behind on this. So I will be digging all of this out. Now, another thing, as I was looking at the map just now, I did notice down here, there is a village. Now, I don't have the inventory space for that. It also looks like we've got another meteor here, but that could be a cave because I do see caves right here. So there's definitely going to be some stuff. I'm going to want to come back here and do a little bit more checking on some of this stuff because definitely this village, we want to get that taken care of. Check this for being a meteor. Check this for being a meteor, and I probably should mark a couple of these because, yeah, I mean, I may not make it back right away, so I'll just have to see. But I am going to dig out all of this quartz. I may have to leave a little bit of the peat behind in order to actually get this to work, and it looks like these two could possibly be. There's a bunch of stuff here that could be meteors. This is probably just a cave, but yeah, I will be marking a whole bunch of stuff, and then the next time I come out here, hopefully we'll be able to find something good. So yep, I will see you guys in a little bit. So I've been finding quite a few meteors, so I just found another one. So this makes like 3 or 4 of them that I've found. So we've got this one here, that one, that one. Still need to come up here and check a couple more of these. But I noticed south of this village, there's this thing, and I don't remember what on earth that was, but also we've got Termite Mounds here. And I don't know if we could find a use for those. I'm sure that we could find something for it. Just obsidian, okay. So I kind of want to come up here and see exactly what this thing is, because all of the times that I have found these things, I've never really found anything of interest in them. And you know what? No, I already checked on that spot. Say that looked like it should be. Apparently it wasn't. So there's the village, so we should be just right over here for this ruin. And man, I wish that it was daylight. And also we are getting into a more savanna type area, which is interesting. Is this a stone tree? No. Darn it. Someone's already been here. Okay. Man, they really dug deep. Well, this was definitely not me that was here, but someone's been here, and apparently they found nothing. So, yeah, I'm very surprised that they didn't go up to the village. But yeah, someone has definitely been here. I don't know. There would appear to be nothing there, though. That is very unfortunate. Oh well, I am very surprised also with someone having been here that all of these meteors are intact. So, yes, I suppose that's the way that it goes sometimes. But I do need to get back to the base, get my inventory emptied out. I'll swing by those couple of spots on the way up to see if there's anything in them. And then I think I am going to have to come back here and dig all of this out, because it looks like everything's still intact in this village. So, yeah. I'm going to be coming back this way regardless for the meteors, so I guess go get my inventory emptied out, and I'll see you guys in a bit. Ooh. Is this? Oh. Looked like it should be. Just based on the shape. Sadness. Well, this was definitely well worth it. Finding a building materials trader. Red bricks. That is something we cannot get anywhere else. Now, right now, the rest of this is kind of pointless. It's got 11 days until he's going to refresh. I could get 64 red bricks. I think I'm going to be bringing back 16 gears when I come back as well. So, yeah. But unfortunately, all of the rest of these were a bust. And that is not what I meant to do there. So, yeah. I guess. No, that's actually a cave. So, I suppose I head back. So, for anyone that wants to know how to pick up one of these termite mounds, what you need to do is quarry them. Much the same as you would with any other blocks. So if you try to break the termite mound directly, it is going to just vanish. But if you remove all of its supporting blocks, you will pick it up. So that's how we get termite mounds. So yes, I am going to grab a whole bunch of these because I really want them. Now, so far I've already gotten 8 blocks of meteoric iron, 18 iron pieces, as well as a few other miscellaneous bits and bobs from the ruins that I've checked. 2 storage vessels, that's good. I may also pick up a few of those to just carry with me. But yeah, I gotta just look around here, see if I can find any more termite mounds. Now this is going to be a bit more difficult as time goes on, because it is getting to be nighttime. So yeah, that kind of stinks. Now we can see this here, it won't break till we break that one. So yeah, it just needs no blocks touching it and then it will break off. So yeah, I'll just keep looking around here. I'll see you guys in a little bit. Well, that's always fun. This is a meteor that has no meteor. How does that work? I don't know, but I do think I'm gonna dig out as much of this swavite as I can. Now, I've also found some bony cow skulls as I've been wandering around out here. So that is really cool. But I think before I get going on this, I probably should drop a little of this junk off in my chest because, well, yeah, I've got a lot of stuff in my inventory. So some of this stuff we should not be seeing later on. So I'll just go ahead and drop it off in here. And the rest of it, I suppose, we'll just keep in our inventory for the moment. Chalk is probably not something we're going to be seeing. So yeah, I'll go ahead and get that put on my back, and I guess we could throw these red bricks in there, and for whatever reason we didn't end up with the proper stack there, but there we go. So yeah, I'm gonna quarry some of this. Try to get some actual swavite stone because or rock, because I haven't actually quarried any of this stuff. I just found something absolutely horrible. So we will grab a single andesite cobblestone. So the extended workbench is an inventory that will save its items. So we now have one andesite cobble in there. We can go away from that. We come back in here, that andesite cobble is still there. If there are items in the workbench and you break it, oh, it gave it to me this. Well, it deleted all of the items that I had just a bit ago. Let's try throwing in a piece of sandstone cobble as well. Maybe it's that it takes more than one item. I don't know. So yeah, we have both of those in there now. Well, what the heck? It deleted all of my all of my bricks and my kimberlite and my quarried bauxite and all of that stuff. It's just gone now. So, basically, be careful with the extended workbench. Don't break it when there are items in it. I lost a lot of stuff. I'm actually going to have to go back out and do some more kimberlite quarrying. But I finally got a whole bunch of the fire clay bricks or shingles done. And I guess I actually took them up here to the top. Yeah, I was getting ready to move some stuff, and that's when I broke the workbench. But we've got over 500 fire clay shingles now, so that should be able to get us quite a bit of stuff taken care of here. So, yes, I did put in a lattice work of oak logs here, and that should give us somewhere that we can make a platform. So, like on this outer edge, we are going to be putting some half slabs in here just to kind of fill the edge. And then we'll have, well, I would guess probably the one spot for the ladder, one spot for an axle coming down for the helve hammer, and then two for the querns. And maybe we want the querns to come down in the corners? I don't know. I suppose we could do something like that. We could, in theory, we could actually have the helve hammer come down in the corner, couldn't we? Maybe? Maybe not. No, the helve hammer has to come into the middle of the room. So, yeah, I'm going to have to do some thought about, some thinking about that. And really, the helve hammer should not be here. It is not meant to be a part of this building. Now, one thing that I did find in experimenting for, the upper portion of this, I found out we can actually have our windmills intersect each other. Wrong chest. So our windmills can actually, we can put our 5 sets of sails onto a windmill, and those sails can actually intersect each other, and it works just fine. But I am going to put some non-supported axles out away from the building before the rotor, and that should help a little bit on how much they interfere. But yes, we need to get the top onto this. So we are going to be using a fairly steep thing for our shingles. Now, unfortunately, yeah, I don't feel right about using the half slabs for this and chiseling them up, but we are going to have to come in here and start placing these in, chiseling them down. So now, kind of like we have down here on, well, if we come down here and take a look at the thatch on these buildings, we go up 3 voxels and back 2. And I think we're going to keep the same angle up here. So I have a lot of these to place in. I also have a lot of chiseling to do. And I'm going to have to do a little bit of checking on the length of the episode, because I have no idea how much time has already been tied up in this episode. It's just kind of been all over the place. So yes, let me do some work and need some food. And I will see you guys after a bit. So I thought it might be a good idea to set up the windmills here to make sure that I had room for everything to fit. Because as I'm starting to put this roof on here, I realized we're still going to be tightening this down to a very small area. And in fact, the area is only going to be a 3x3 internally. So I thought it might be a good idea to get all of that set up and see if we can make sure that everything fits. So if we can keep it to a 5x5, we will be okay. But that also means, yeah, the wall has to come up right here. I was not prepared for the wall to be there. But, I mean, if that's where we need it, that's where we need it. Now, another thing that I have found is, as I'm making this, I needed this section to be behind in order to fill this gap here. And so in the center, I know that we're going to have some space for the shafts. And so I figured I would slightly raise the center a little. And that also kind of fits into the design that I've got for this upper section, because the center of it kind of pops out a little. And that's partly because of the way that we have to set things up here at the top section in order for it to work. And that is that we need a solid, unchiseled block, at least on one of the four sides of the axle here, in order for it to mount. Now, we can remove that after the fact. If we break this, now this is fine, but I don't really like that. Now, I did that also down here when I set up the querns, because in order to put the gears down, whoops, that is not where I wanted you. There we go. So the quern does not provide support for this axle. So in order to put the gear on top of the axle, we actually had to have a hay block. So I just took these two hay blocks here and put them up against the side of the axle. Now we can put the axle directly on the quern, but we can put the gear on until we put this hay block here that's just floating. And then, after the gears were all in place, I removed the hay bales and everything's fine. I love game mechanics sometimes. Yeah. But the axles do not attach in any way, shape, or form to a chiseled block. It doesn't matter. Even if we put a solid block up against the axle and then start chiseling it, it immediately detaches from the block. So yes, we cannot do any type of chiseled block, so we need something to cover up the edge of that non-chiseled block. So my plan is to actually have another very thin chiseled block as a facade over the front of this block. And that should help things just a touch. So yes, I have that. Now, I got a lot of stuff to take care of here. And one thing that I may do, this might actually work. So I may just go ahead and raise this entire outer edge up by that extra 2x2 voxel so that we can just remove these half blocks here. I've got so much to figure out here. Yeah, but yes, we do have this set up now, and this also had another reason that I set this up, and that was to make sure that the feel was correct. So when we pop away from this building, we can actually start to see the height that this is, and I almost feel like we want to be a little bit higher, just simply because it doesn't quite feel tall enough. But maybe it is. It's a tough one to figure out. The thing that really scares me is this is kind of starting to get a medieval feel to it instead of the Mayan feel. I'm not really thrilled about that. Trying to keep everything, one thing that will definitely differentiate the Mayan build to the medieval build. Medieval buildings very frequently, and I mean very frequently, almost without exception, overhang their foundations. So as you went higher on the building, they got wider and wider. And actually, I did watch some videos by Shadiversity about why that was, and there are some interesting ideas. In general, I like the look of it, and that seems to be a big portion of it as well. There were also structural advantages, but yes, there are also structural advantages to the way that the Mayans built, and that is that we have a wider base than the top. So as we are working our way up the pyramid, things just have to continue stepping in. And as we get narrower and narrower, we can go taller and taller with each section because there's less and less weight to support above it. So like this pyramid here is incredibly heavy if you were to figure out how much it weighs, but what would go on top of it would not be, it would be a fraction of the wall that is supporting it underneath. So yes, very stable, but it's hard to make it look good. So I have to be really careful. I don't want this to get a medieval look to it, which is really going to be difficult when adding windmills, because this is not something that was ever seen in Mayan or Aztec architecture, because they did not develop wind power. Now, I'm pretty sure that had we left them alone, they probably would have. But, you know, it's just one of those things. We're taking some creative liberties with this because we need this wind power. We don't have anything else. You know, Mayans and Aztecs, they were known for using slaves for things like this. We don't have slaves, nor would I want to have them. So, yes, that... I gotta be really careful, though. So, yes, I'm working on this, and I hope to get it all finished up. We may not be working on this in the next episode. I need to get some things figured out as far as trying to get together with another member of the server. So hopefully that all works out. And yeah, that is hopefully going to give me a little bit of a break from this. And I'll have some time to get some of this worked out. But that is definitely going to be it for today. So I'm going to say thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the episode, be sure to give a thumbs up. If you are new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. If you have any thoughts about what I've been working on or anything that you would like to see, be sure to leave that down in the comments. Give me any ideas or feedback you guys have on what I've been doing here with the build on top of the pyramid. I am really kind of concerned about it looking too medieval. But yeah, you guys can let me know. And of course, check the description for the links to some of the other members of the server that are making videos. And I will see you next time. Bye.